Hello, Benjamin Spider here. Today I wanted to do a video about why I'm interested in copytrack. It's unscripted, unedited, so it's not going to be perfect. But I wanted to basically share why I'm interested in this company and why I'm going to be making more content about this company. My goal really isn't to just destroy them, it's more so for them to change their practices and to just apologize to the people that they've affected. I mean, that's kind of what happened with the hosting review industry, is that, well, there were changes made. Endurance International Group forced other hosting affiliates, i.e. hosting review sites, to disclose that they weren't making money through an affiliate program. Before, it was just some sort of let's just trust us. We've tried this service, blah, 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 blah. But as you've watched in the very first video, if you watched it, that wasn't true. There was affiliate programs underneath. Some of these hosts were not even online. It just a long list of things. And that's actually something I'm going to be covering in another blog post. But why am I interested in copytrack, you might ask? Well, back in January, during a time where I am just at my wit's end trying to figure out what is wrong with my websites, which I did figure out. But copytrack contacts me, tells me that I have the images of one of their clients, WENN Rights International. But that wasn't WENN Rights International, so I figured, like most times whenever somebody sends me a copyright complaint, I tell them no and I prove why, and that's that. But in this case, copytrack did not even look at what I sent them. I showed them proof and everything, and they weren't interested. They wanted me to pay up. And then, well, that was the wrong thing because my ADHD brain is just not going to let go of things until, I go crazy and write a bunch of stuff. That's the joy of dealing with me. Weapons grade ADHD. And, well, they wanted me to pay, I'd say, not being familiar with the conversion rate, but about $300 US, 278 euro per year, and then another 260 euro, guessing 280, I could be off, just for that. And it was not even an image that was being accessed. It actually kind of helped me because I didn't realize we still had PNG files on my sites. So it wasn't exactly all bad, but they just didn't want to listen to me. So I started searching, and lo and behold, there were a lot of complaints involving copytrack and WENN Rights International. In fact, for the most part, I thought they were part of the same company until I started digging more and more. And I started finding some other common patterns, but WENN Rights International is the most common because they claim to have over millions of images. And I think that's kind of caused by basically either it's an automated, though I don't quite believe that now. I did at first, but what I believe now is that they're probably using some sort of outsourcing, and that outsourcing is doing it for the lowest bid. So there's going to be a lot of errors. And in my case, they picked that. But let's take, for example, another case where, well, I kind of pointed this out to copytrack, and copytrack hasn't bothered to respond to me. I mean, in this case, it was Ruth Wong. They sent Ruth Wong a complaint on behalf of WENN Rights International, claiming that she took their images. And they wanted a lot of money for that. But those were her images. These were images that were taken by her husband. This is an outfit she made herself, and she's posing in it. And WENN Rights wants her to pay for it. And of course, WENN Rights doesn't show anybody, talk to anybody when they're wrong. And they didn't respond to me. and I'll get to this one in a minute. The problem with copytrack is, well, there are legitimate users of this. I've explored this in a couple of posts, but for the average user, it's not a good site. I see lots of people complaining about it, the amount of time they have to go through false positives. And generally the payout is not that great. I mean, I see other people who are just like making a lot of money, thousands of dollars, and they have no complaints against it. But I think copytrack should listen to the people, to the legitimate criticisms, I think. Because, I mean, yeah, I can kind of see why they need to have documents signed. There's, but the claims are limited to €1,000, and if you've ever followed any copyright claims, some of them can run into the millions. Like one of the cases I mentioned in an earlier post, where one of the companies ripped off somebody from Twitter. They took all their images and threw it onto a site and put their images up for sale, and well, they ended up having to pay millions. And I think the case here is that they should be able to do that. I don't think copytrack is made for somebody who's really got hurt under a copyright claim. And I've had quite a few of those. One of the first ones was back in the early 2000s when this MLM company, and yeah, I'm going to talk about MLMs in this. They tried to claim that I stole their content. They wanted me to take my site down. And, well, they were not prepared for the fact that, yeah, my ADHD brain leads to a lot of data hoarding. So I had every single little file that was made in the creation of that site. And, of course, they didn't. And they turned tail and run and went quiet, kind of like copytrack has done to me after I pointed out to them that, well, no, you do not indeed own the rights to that image. But as far as MLMs, yes, let me discuss why I'm bring them up. In the case here, they like to tout numbers here. 65 million images in their global network. And, well, a big bulk of those are going to be copied. WENN Rights International. They say the estimated value of stolen images is 63 million. That's an estimate, not the actual number they've made back. They say they've won cases in 115 countries. Well, they say that there, but they also say they've won cases in 80 countries over here when they're trying to do their whole spill. And if you're in South Park, you're kind of thinking the whole step 1, underpants, step 3, profit, and then, but what is step 2? And yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. There's not a whole lot to point to. But they want you to sign up because you can make money. And they let you upload up to 500 images. They claim fair pay for your work, which I think was about 60%, but 60% of $150, that depends on how much time you spent on going through all their false positives. And is it really worth it? And, well, here we get to the point where there was somebody else who responded to me to try and get copytrack's attention. And this one was kind of a little odd. I mean, one, they claim to be into AI, and that, well, you should probably watch Legal Eagle's video on copyright on AI works. I will post that in the description. But, well, you get to their thing, and you kind of see a bit of you can see into the back end for a user. And in this case, she's got nothing in the inbox. She's got over 60,000 hits to the images she has. Let's see if I can see. Oh, and she's got like 251 images to go through. And she's got this thing here that says she's got a potential fee of $328,000. And she's been paid 150 euros. Oh, I should say euros on the potential fee. But now they apparently she needs to load up more images. She needs to spend more time on it because, well, some of us have lives, and sometimes we have to set things to the side. And in this case, well, Christine got a notice from them saying that they're going to cut her off because she has, because of lack of activity, over 180 days. And that's not something I can find, which is kind of why I brought this up. Is because, I mean, here copytrack responds to her. The reason for the activation of your account is due to a period of inactivity exceeding 180 days, during which you did not submit any claims. Regretfully, without any new images detected by our system, we were unable to initiate cases. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. If you look down here at the bottom where it says hits and domains with, hits and domains with hits per day. And you look down here and it seems like there's actually an increase here. But they want her to go through there and just add more images. Keep scrolling through false positives, which, yeah, it's time consuming. And sometimes we just do not have the time to spend hours on end looking for our images. And maybe at the beginning you don't have a lot of images. You might have just started out and you kind of want to protect your investment of some 20 images. And copytrack doesn't seem to keep that in mind. They're more or less interested in you just feeding the machine so they can feed you hits so they can go after people and collect money. At first they'll send this collection notice. It's like, oh, yes, you stole an image from our client and you need to pay. And you need to pay a yearly fee if you're going to continue using it. Well, actually, they don't even tell you that if you continue to use it. They just outright state you need to pay that yearly fee. They don't make the assumption that maybe you'll pull the image off the site after you pay that fee. And and who wouldn't pull off that image if they did steal it? Because you can go to a lot of sites where you can get images for a lot cheaper. And some of those images are ones that copytrack themselves have went on about how much money they made back. Let's see. No, it looks like, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the image here that they had, because there we go. Yes, this one here. This image here you can find with TinEye, so you know exactly where it came from. And it's like they claim to have made roughly $2,000, 1,800 euros. And yeah, let's see. I think I found it on Adobe. Oh yeah, there's Shutterstock. What am I thinking? So we go to Shutterstock, and how much can you get it for at Shutterstock? Well, there's 2 images on demand, and of course you need to read the licensing agreements with these images when you buy them from sites like Shutterstock, because maybe you can only use it so many times per amount of traffic. There's just various things you need to read to in the licensing. But for Shutterstock, they'll let you have it for as little as if you get a subscription, $29 a month, they'll let you have it for $2.90. I'm not going to go through the whole licensing, but the thing is, you can get a lot of these images that they're saying they won big dollars on for a lot cheaper. It would be easier to even just say, buy. Well, that's another thing, but because I've seen some people who weren't sure if their web designer had paid for it or actually stole it, and so they went to the site they claimed to have stole it from and bought it a license for themselves, and still copytrack pursued. Because, well, I think the thing is, if you go and deal with copytrack, the first thing you should do, don't say anything else other than they need to prove ownership of rights. What exactly was it I said that got them off my back? Well, because they did two claims against the same image. And the second claim, I did something I saw somebody else say, which was, let's see, I'm trying to go back through what it was I said, because I tried to keep a track of complaints. I'm probably going to edit this out, even though I said I wasn't going to edit. But I've said something to the effect is like, provide proof of the image. Because, well, it just seemed kind of odd. Oh, there it is, timeline in process. I mean, that was the point. Oh, yes, provide proof of ownership. That was all I said on the second claim. And they closed the case. They didn't even say why they were wrong. I mean, they didn't apologize or anything. They're just like, oh, we decided to close the case. Even though they were demanding money and they didn't deserve the money. And, well, that is kind of why I got involved. Because, like I said with the multi-level marketing, it was anytime something offers you a lot of money for very little effort, I grow concerned. Because back when I worked for multi-level marketing, which was the first thing I did in design, they had me OCR a book. And that was when I woke up to realizing what a scam multi-level marketing is. And because there was just so many things. Like one thing, for example, was how to take custody of your disabled grandchild for tax benefits. And I'm not even going to go to the full details of that, but that's what disgusted me, and I soon ended up leaving them to try and find work elsewhere, and eventually ended up in the hosting industry. And, well, here we are again with copytrack and their promises of money. It's like, sign up and keep track, it's free. God, I think they've really changed their site, because I remember some of the things. Oh yeah, sit back and earn money. Yeah, I mean, it isn't really sit back and earn money, because as you heard about the false positives, you have to sit and scroll. And I think we do enough of that already. Their system isn't refined. But this is my video. Just wanted to share my random thoughts. It's not complete. It's not perfect. And it's been a long time, if you look at this channel, since I've actually created any videos. And this is honestly the first time I've really put my voice to video, because I think I have a horrible voice. But anyway, you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.
Really? Why? Really?